Oh my god, look at that off-white color.
The tasteful thickness of it.
It's even got embroidery. Hello friends, trace amounts of science! Welcome back to ReddX and all that happy horse shit. This is Fat People Stories. It's the Maggie OP, which I'm pretty sure we all agree, like, we hate. Some people hate Maggie as well. I find her delightful. Her oafish antics have brought me many a chuckle, so we'll continue on today. Thanks so much for being here also. The Gubbenses are tied up, I think, on the scoreboard, which is pretty sweet. It'll be an exciting game, so let's see how it goes, I guess. Ham Saturn attends a Comic-Con. I wrote about this a while back, but the mods put the brakes on it, probably because it was mostly bits about my Ham Planet coworker Maggie doing dumb things and not fat stories, so I'll just redo the sub-relevant bits. Like sub-relevant, less than relevant. I think it's funny that the Fat People Stories mods are purists. Like, oh, you didn't tell her getting stuck in a manhole cover. That's the story I want to hear. It has to specifically mention how fat she is while she's doing the dumb things. That's about the most ridiculous thing ever, especially considering, yeah, most of the Reddit mods are probably massively overweight. I'd like to see the mods for Fat People Stories. Probably chunky boys just like me. Anyway, some months back, Maggie came to work on Monday, babbling away about a con weekend she had attended with some friends in a city an hour and a half away. You see, she wants to impress you guys so bad. She probably heard you talking about a convention. She bought a ticket. Nobody would go with her. She fucking went, like, just sad as shit and then had to tell you guys all about it. Either that or she's lying, as Maggie's known to do. It was on our lunch break, and Maggie was sticking her phone in everyone's face, making them look at all the photos she had taken. She gets to my friend Brian, who hates her. Even though he's a Ham Planet too. We stopped mentioning that part. Apparently he's gravitated enough toward OP's side that she's like, I guess we don't have to call Brian overweight every time we mention him. But I will never forget, OP, what you really think of him. Brian starts laughing and saying, oh, these are great. You show him to Burger Time. And in an instant, I know that he's either A, trying to annoy me, or B, there is some truly funny stuff there, which we'll be talking smack about for the rest of the day. Either way, doesn't really matter because I want to see the pics of what sort of people would hang out with Maggie on a voluntary basis. Yep, same people that would dress up as anime characters and things. People who are unafraid to enjoy things, and it burns you up inside, OP. I already called out what this is. So Maggie trundles over, love that, again, best verb, and she hands me her phone. First pic is the selfie she and her friends took when they got to their hotel. 4 of her friends are hams, and the other is hideous. And I feel bad saying that because she can't help it, but damn! Alright, post a picture of yourself, OP. I'll post a picture of myself. But go ahead, tell us how hideous this woman that you're vicariously living through actually was. OP says, think if Susan Boyle and Mick Jagger had a kid and it grew up doing its hair in a blender and spent its life smashing itself in the face with a frying pan. But the funny part was how they had to take their selfie. They had to line up in front of the long horizontal mirror in the lobby and take a picture of the mirror because they couldn't all squeeze into the shot. The shot they took next at the con, who they got someone else to take, had to be taken from like half a hallway across the room, judging by the scale, so they could all fit. Well, see, the problem with your stories, you're only thinking on a 2D plane. Were none of these hams taller or shorter than the others? That you have to line them all up so we can get the full measurements? I don't think that's how it worked. One would squat down, blow out her knees, and give like a little peace sign or whatever they do now. I think it's the heart fingers from Korea, you know, you pinch your fingers together. I used to do that too, but it was different. I think I learned it from kids in the hall.
I pity you and I curse you. Sorry, nothing personal. I'm apolitical.
God, that's a great show. Okay, yeah, tell us more about how fat they were, OP, I guess. This picture was taken so far away that whoever took the photo could have just bolted with Maggie's phone and been halfway to Timbuktu before she started lumbering after them. Yeah, luckily the person that took the picture didn't even think of doing that because they were a decent human being. But I understand. People like OP are why we're living in a more and more low-trust society. Just snickering behind everybody's back, smile to her face, and then as soon as you get out to the smoke pit or whatever, you're just like, what an idiot! Fucking, if you got a problem with somebody, just say it. Just say it out loud and it'll all be fine. We'll get it settled one way or the other. And Opie says, by the way, they were all dressed as Sailor Moon characters. Lots of miniskirts. I'll never be able to unsee that. There were also fishnet stockings. Whatever, dude. Probably some dudes were into it. They're like, you see all them big Sailor Moons? God damn, that's some cake. And Maggie was brave enough to do it, you know, to get out there. That's truly why OP's mad. Because Maggie lives her life without fear of anybody else's judgment. I love it. I'm fucking all here for it all the time. After scrolling through a half dozen pics of people in outfits, there were another half dozen of the really, really awesome breakfast buffet. Hell yeah. And a few snaps of them at the bar having fancy cocktails garnished with rock candy. And I'm talking full-size swizzle sticks of frickin' sugar. And they were multiple empty glasses and sticks on the table. I mean, yeah, probably you don't want to do that, but it's a getaway, you know? Why can't we fucking party a little bit? That rock candy idea is really good. I'm gonna start making some rock candy. That's our USP. Delicious alcohol that you don't even realize you drank 5 and then you fall down on the way out. As long as you're willing to pay $20 a glass and leave a nice tip, then who am I to say boo, really? Then Maggie starts bragging about how they were supposed to be in rooms on the 4th floor, but the manager came and told the lady at the front desk that they had 3 rooms available by the pool and to give them an upgrade. Maggie was going on and on like she was invited to the Met Gala. It's probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened to her, and the thing is, it's not an upgrade. The pool's a highly trafficked area with screaming, running, excited kids and drunk adults stomping past your door all hours, at least while the pool is open. And Maggie was also bragging about the 24-hour arcade and the vending machines and ice machines 10 feet away and how they didn't have to walk far for anything because even the front desk was super close. That's 24/7 noise. I mean, if you're a person that values solitude, yeah, I think probably you wouldn't enjoy it. But the thing is, the real, like, room temp IQs, the dum-dums, don't generally get bothered by noise, you know? They're used to having constant stimulation and noise because they need to fill the empty space inside of their heads. And yes, I do think, like, OP's intelligent. That's why she'd probably be able to take my criticisms with a grain of salt. You know, that's why you're so observational and able to break down everything that Maggie does. But, like, use your power for something else, you know? Like, if you're a smart person, you should be building great things. If you even halfway consider yourself to be that. Put yourself out into the world and take a fucking leap. You don't just do the bare minimum and then judge everybody else. Don't even bother with judging everybody else. I mean, I do it in the videos, I guess, but like in my personal life, I'm highly focused on like the projects and things that I'm doing. Speaking of, we released Spin It on Google Play Store. We have enough testers now. It'll be officially released in about 14 days, but you can try it now. Will you download Spin It? Fuck yeah. And I built it because every other spinning decision wheel thing on the Play Store fucking sucks, so there you go. Enjoy! $3 for Pro, only through Gumroad at the moment, but Google Play will be added, you know, upon full release. Anyway, sorry, that's a plug. Also join Patreon. Thanks so much to support those endeavors. YouTube memberships is cool too, but I get a bigger slice out of Patreon. Anyway, yeah, 24/7 noise. Sorry, OP, thanks for the shitty plug. I really worked to get that in there, you know? We went a long way around. We probably lost some people. Pour one out for them, you know? Fucking just eat the rock candy. Pour the drink on the floor. That's another $20 in my pocket. Maggie then took her leave of us to go eat her rucksack full of sandwiches at the outdoor picnic table. Rucksack full of sandwiches. That is a hilarious visual to me. The second the door closed behind her, Brian said loudly, "You know they gave him the ground floor because the manager didn't want all of them on the elevator at the same time, right? Webster's dictionary already has a visual aid for plummeting." We all start laughing. I mean, good burn on fat people, Brian, of which you are one. I haven't forgotten. I guess that's why he's like so hyper aware of such things. He's like, if I get in an elevator, they're gonna need to have that shit maintenance tomorrow. Then the floor manager, Jamie, snaps, "I didn't hear that," and stomps out to eat the remainder of his lunch in his office. Fucking floor manager ain't worth a squirt of piss, is he? He's just like, "I don't want to do my job. I'm going away now." Well, at least he went away, I guess. Opie says, "I don't have any experience in working in the hospitality industry. If anyone who does have experience has any insight into Brian's theory, please, let's have it." I mean, me and my dad, stepdad, and my brother all started jumping up and down in the hospital elevator one time, and it got fucking stuck. I think we were visiting my mom at work. She worked in the NICU, neonatal intensive care, and she hated it a lot. Because, yeah, probably got to watch a lot of dead babies and stuff. But at least the stuck elevator was a bit of levity, you know? This whole story made me sad. It's OP just being so judgmental and Maggie unabashedly having a good time. It's so ridiculous, dude. Like, if the elevator got stuck, imagine that it did happen, they'd probably all just laugh about it. Like... They lived their life in such a fun and carefree way that it's hard to hate Maggie. And in order to hate her, you'd have to really be somebody who's bitter deep down inside. And I'm sorry that you've not been able to heal that for yourself, but maybe you should work on it just a little bit, you know? Maybe we should try grin maxing and smiling a little bit more, because we really do live in clown world. Don't take it so serious. If you want to wear Sailor Moon mini skirts and fishnets, go off, you know? It's within your rights to do that, I say. So, yeah, I hope you're able to pull it together, OP. I hope that the world hasn't beaten you down to the point that you don't know how to beat it back. Stand up and fucking throw a punch. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, only punch OP throws are down, you know, and you don't get stronger punching down that way. It's also why a lot of TikTok stuff, people, oh Jesus, am I rambling too much? I'm probably rambling too much, but I've had so many requests for like TikTok predators and this, and I don't really want to do it, because it's clearly just tons of mentally ill people chasing around children, and it makes me really, really sad. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell, but I don't have the energy right now. I gotta focus on my other stuff, on building great things, like I was talking about. And even if your things aren't great to start, if you fucking do it every day, you'll be amazed where you're at in a year, you know? Just keep pushing. Don't fucking let a day pass you by. Like, I've been uploading a lot of compilations and stuff recently, and that's because I'm fucking cooking, dude. I got my programming on point. I did delete the database for Gubbins Gotcha in the Discord, and I apologize sincerely for that, but it's all part of the learning process, isn't it? I was like, yeah, this is stored locally, isn't it? Let's delete the disk on render. And now everybody's cards are gone. Everybody's cards are gone. Welcome to beta. I did refund the amount for the people that paid, though. I'm like, okay, you guys get this many cards back. Open beta's rough, but I'm gonna push that to the Play Store soon, too. I'm cooking in Godot. I'm so good at it at this point. And it's all thanks to my Steam game, Waifu Pilled. We programmed that up, tried to write as deep as we could. Hopefully you'll connect with the characters and truly hear what essentially all these parts of me have to say to you. It's like some meta-ass commentary in the game, but I think you guys will really enjoy it. So wishlist it if you haven't. I think I'm gonna try and push it out in February for Valentine's Day. Probably there's people who don't care. If you're one of them, that's fine. But there are also people that care deeply and want to see the thing succeed. So let's fucking get ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I should probably add some commentary at this point, but I think I've said most of what I had to say, even beyond. So I'll let the Gubbinses get in here and we'll get their take.
Why OP mad Maggie having fun? She wear costume, she drink sugar stick, she get free room upgrade. That sound like winning lottery. OP acting like poolside access is punishment. No. That is VIP splash zone. OP say friends hideous, but friends actually there. Where OP's friends? Oh, they laughing at Coworker behind back. Very brave.
Damn.
Maggie fighting evil by moonlight. OP fighting happiness by daylight. She winning love. OP winning Reddit upvote.
Never running from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
Gubbins.
Did you cut your own meme in, Gubbins? That was pretty sick. I didn't know you could do that. How about you, Dark One?
She mocks her for taking up space in a photograph, yet she occupies more space in OP's mind
What?
than any genuine joy ever could. While she makes memories with people who accept her, OP sits in a break room collecting bitterness like a hobby, destined to realize that her judgment is merely the armor she wears to protect herself from her own irrelevance. Dark Gubbins.
Oh, they're both so good. What am I supposed to do? Okay, fine. One for you. One for you. It's kind of a cop-out, but like, they're cutting to the bone. What else do I need to say? What do you guys even need me here for? You know, I guess to plug the projects that we're into and actually read the story. But aside from that, I'll let the Gubbinses take the commentary sections. I don't know. Sometimes the rambling helps. Sometimes I get things out that a computer can't necessarily. You know, like OP just being a groaning gremlin too obsessed to cut loose. And she deals with that by, you know, judging others. Which they did say that, but in a roundabout way. Whatever. Everybody gets a point. Everybody wins. We spent too long on this first story. I fucking talked too much. I don't know. I'm in a pensive mood today, I guess. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the next story, shall we? This is Ham Saturn versus Marvin, round 2. And Marvin's the kid that called her out during a fire drill, if I recall correctly. Said her butt was in the way of the door, which might have been true, but nobody mentioned it for whatever reason. So this is part 2 of that. Yay! I guess. I work in a warehouse with my Ham Planet coworker Maggie, 28, and my coworker Marvin, 19. Marvin's on the spectrum, and on the first day he informed everyone about his Asperger's via pre-printed paper.
Oh my god, look at that off-white color. The tasteful thickness of it.
It's even got embroidery. Marvin is a great guy, says OP. Maggie, on the other hand, is not great in any way, other than her size. Her lust for life is great. Her appetite for life, as we might like to call it, and then we'd snicker, but Maggie wouldn't care. She'd be out there having fun. Maggie's a massive attention seeker. See, probably I shouldn't validate. I'd be so annoyed with her after 20 minutes, I know that. But to be fair, that applies to like most human beings on the planet. Anyway, yeah, Maggie's a massive attention seeker. She used to wear a Harry Potter cape to work until the moron destroyed it when the cape was caught in a fan that she was cleaning and it was ripped and the fan was ruined and my finger was crushed after I hit the floor trying to pull the fan plug after the motor started burning. Yeah, I remember that story. We were basically banned from wearing excessively loose clothing at work. Unfortunately, that new policy didn't stop Maggie from seeking attention. Yeah, I got some Hufflepuff leggings from Lululemon. I don't know which is which. Do they mean different things? Is it the same? I don't care. So yesterday, Maggie decided that TGIF meant that showing up to work in a Sailor Moon cosplay outfit was a splendid idea. I mean, we paid for it. We want to get some use out of it, you know? Mind you, we start our shifts at 7 a.m., and she has to drive a half an hour to get there. Who has time for that shit before a 10-hour shift? Who would even want that? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, but I digress. It's mostly people who are like stuck in middle school, you know? Did you never wake up way before middle school and preen? You got to do a bit of preening, at least like 2 hours of gassing yourself up, and you fucking kill it at school and fall asleep in math class, which is the last class. I hate that shit. Anyway, Maggie trundles into the break room with this blue dress, white bulging fishnets, red boots, and a huge dipshit smile on her face. She had some silly wand or something that she went around tapping everyone on the head with until the surly guy with his face and his arms on the table snarled at her, "Do not touch him!" The rest of us are either rolling our eyes, giving her a WTF look, and my friend Brian said, "Oh, hell no," out loud. 2 directions that I could go. I guess he could be a sassy black gay guy. All right, from now on, Brian, congratulations. I think I would be super annoyed too, though. If somebody comes to work with a fucking wand, like, what are you doing? You can wear the outfit, but don't do the whole thing, okay? Maggie, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, but sit the fuck down. Leave me alone. Accomplish something today. Would you? Anyway, Opie says, I'll add right here that the pair of shorts she was wearing under her dress did little to hide her shame when she bent over, because her shorts are constantly stuck in her butt cheeks. Oh, no. Yeah, I hate all of that. Great. We're positive that it's because of her thighs chafing, because it only happens in the crack area and not like the hip area, so her shorts essentially look like an upside down V. I just had to vent about that for a second. I mean, yeah, it's a dangerous prospect. Those things ride up sometimes. You gotta tape it down, Maggie. I'm apologetic that it's so offensive to you, but again, nobody said anything. We just let her show up to the work in a warehouse with a fucking Sailor Moon costume on. And everybody's just like, yeah, that's Maggie. They want her to continue doing it. Everybody in this warehouse only finds life because of Maggie's antics. You wouldn't show up to work otherwise. Why would you? What the fuck? Anyway, Opie says, we're all making jokes like, that's not Sailor Moon, that's Sailor Space Station! The moon is bigger than any space station that humanity can build currently. Not to be pedantic, but yeah. Let me sit you down and talk about the Kessler syndrome. Space junk crashing into other space junk, making more space junk that travels at 17,000 miles an hour in orbit, and yeah, pretty soon we won't be able to leave the planet at all. Good! Cocooned in our own trash. Congratulations, humanity! Yeah, that's such a tangent. But it's more interesting than your joke. Your joke was awful. I guess mine wasn't really a joke, it's just sort of a thing that's happening. We should be concerned, but we're not. I was never going to space. I'll be dead by the time it matters anyway. Anyway, Opie says that's when Marvin showed up after lunch to start his shift. He works short shifts so he doesn't get overwhelmed. I think Marvin works short shifts so he doesn't get overpaid, but alright. He immediately gets to work. He sorts books in a quieter section of the warehouse, but he had to walk past Maggie's station because I had a box of misdelivered books for him. He stops and stares at her for a few seconds, and his body language absolutely read confused from the back, while Maggie fluffed up her dress and said, I'm going to be my own kind of princess, or something, and then Marvin stood there for a couple more seconds before saying, what are you supposed to be? A Pillsbury Doughboy? Cause he's got Asperger's, you see. It's kind of funny, cause like, yeah, you could believe that would be a mistake made. You've got the cape and whatnot. Pillsbury Doughboy got a cape, doesn't he? Maybe. It's just, I saw a big fluffy fucking Michelin man. He didn't know how to process it. So, okay, Opie says, I made that short story very long, but seriously, FML. I have to tell somebody. Also, I am loving working with this kid. Yeah, until he turns his powers on you. That's essentially what I do the entire time. Just like digging around in OP's brain. We came back, we take a second bite out of the Sailor Moon costume. Like I can give even more of a shit the second time around. I think it's dumb. I do think it's weird she's wearing it to work, but whatever. Apparently management doesn't give a shit. Everybody gets to dunk on her. And she gets to feel like the center of attention because people don't punch her for tapping them on the head with a wand. Why would you do that? Can the comments let me know like what the purpose of the Sailor Moon wand is? Does it have powers? Also, are you concerned about the Kessler syndrome at all? Because you shouldn't be. We're all going to be dead before it matters. Like I said, very pensive mood today. How do you feel about it, Gubbinses?
She wears a costume to a warehouse, because even ridicule is preferable to the silence of her own life. But the author is far worse. She diligently records the humiliating details of a mentally unwell coworker to feed her own ego, proving that while Maggie lacks self-awareness, she completely lacks a soul. Dark Gubbins.
Savagery. Yeah. How are we supposed to feed if there's no soul? Why are we even bothering with this? How about you, young one?
Why OP mad? Maggie just dressing for job she want, not job she have. Job she want is magical girl. Job she have is crushing fingers and fans. That called multitasking. She destroy fan with cape. That not accident. Fan was enemy. She save everyone from wind monster. OP complain about shorts stuck in V. Why OP looking so hard?
Bruh.
OP spending lunch break analyzing coworker butt geometry. Very strange hobby. Maybe OP just jealous he not have wand to hit people with. Gubbins.
Butt geometry. Bro, it was close. I can't give them both a point again. It's got to go to Gubbins. Just absolutely on top, you little savage. I love it. Do we got time for another one? It looks like we do. Let's go ahead. We'll round this thing out. Give Dark One a chance to catch up. Thanks so much for enjoying the video with me today, guys. You know, it's been a rambly one, so I figured why not one more time plug the Bootbeard OP's book. That's right, Blood and Sand, baby. We out here still. If you use my Amazon affiliate link, everybody gets helped out. I snatched that up on Kindle already. I'd like to have a physical copy, but like shipping it to the Philippines is kind of ridiculous. What was I talking about? I guess, yeah, we gave Gubbins a point. We're gonna move on. I guess I just always gotta plug some shit before we move on, but okay. We're moving on now. Goodness, this title's very promising. Ham Saturn is a re-poop offender. Oh no, not again. The brown streak is back. A long while back, I posted about my Ham Planet coworker Maggie showing up to work, warehouse sorting thrift donations in poop-stained leggings. Everyone noticed, and complaints were made to the floor manager, but nothing was done. It's been like a year since that incident, and we haven't seen those leggings since. I assume that Maggie had arrived home, disrobed, discovered her crimes, and then either burned her leggings in the backyard or took them to a priest for an exorcism. Yes, a poopsicism. At any rate, those pants have been gone for a very long time, until a few months back. Oh no. What? Why? Maggie, don't! I was sitting in the break room before the start of our shift with my friend Brian and his work partner, Josh. What section of the Magic Holiday warehouse do you think they work in? The Yankee Candle section? God, I love Yankee candles. I talk a lot about the things I hate, you know, Funko Pop's cutting boards. But I fucking love a Yankee candle. I'll admit to it. I'm not gonna talk to Brian because he seems like a backstabby bitch, but maybe we have some hope for Josh. Maybe I'll get like the inside scoop on the Yankee candles from Josh. I'm in a weird mood. I don't know what's going on. Okay, OP continues. We were basically doing the early morning routine of mumbling half-awake small talk and staring at our phones when Brian says, "You guys, I think she's wearing the pants again." We were facing the window to the parking lot, so we look up and damned if Maggie ain't wobbling up to the entrance wearing those same leggings that she had pooped oh so long ago. It's like OP doesn't know you can wash clothes. Like, if she got the stain out, it's probably fine, right? Maybe she bought a new pair. That seems much more likely. But yeah, let's just presume things. That's how we pass the day in the magical Christmas warehouse. But the real irony of the magical Christmas warehouse is that there's no fucking holiday spirit. Just misery. Passing misery back and forth. OP says, our other two coworkers, who had been around for poop stain day, ran to the window and started laughing. We started making jokes about how we hadn't seen those pants in so long because every dry cleaner she took them to immediately quit or entered the witness protection program and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of funny. I do enjoy absurdism like that, but whatever. At the expense of Maggie? Come on, why we gotta do that? Because she bopped me on the head with a wand yesterday. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe we can make fun of the poop leg. What the hell are you doing, woman? That's disgusting. Our newer coworker, Irene, asked what the hell we were laughing about, and we were like, we'll tell you in a minute. And she gave us a knowing look and went back to her phone. So Maggie lumbers in and goes to the time clock while we're stifling our giggles, and of course, we check out her pants. Lo and behold, the shit stains are still there. Maggie, why? You just... I guess she just forgot, but it's no excuse. You should have thrown them out or burned them if you know you'll forget. This is strike 2. I can't give you strike 3. Fool me once, pants, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's shame on Maggie, right? That's right. Why are you living your life like this? Just cut it out, please. A thick brown stripe right down the left of the crack and a splotch right in the dump zone. Oh, is the splotch new? I love what you've done with those. It was flabbergasting, to say the least. Why? Maggie, why? Maybe she needed the day out of work real bad, but she didn't have any sick days. So she's like, I must don the poo pants once more so I can make my doctor's appointment. The hardest choices require the strongest wills. So Maggie punches in and trundles out to her workstation 4 minutes early because her pants and her nose are brown. Well, doesn't she know that management don't really care for her? Before she hits the door, Irene picks her head up and gets an eyeful of what we're all gasping at. And her reaction was not good. She went berserk. Like, Maggie's duty britches triggered her. Like, she went from 0 to an 11 in a matter of seconds. Yeah, Irene's got some shit going on, too. You know, everybody in the Magic Christmas Warehouse does. But, you just don't know what it is until it's unveiled later. And yeah, congratulations. We found out Irene's duty britches. I wish I had recorded her rant because it was both frightening and hilarious at the same time. I'll do my best to paraphrase it. Oh, hell no, hell no! What's that? Is that what I think it was? Yep. Hell no! Someone needs to straighten this girl out. My kids are grown. I'm not getting paid to deal with that shitty ass drawers. Where's Jamie? The floor manager. Y'all got me bent. You think that shit gonna fly with me? It's a grown-ass woman now wiping her crack. And she just kept going. We were dying. And she finally stomped off to Jamie's office, and we heard muffled responses to Irene's hollering about shabby-ass draws, and threats to phone up OSHA while we were cracking up. Girlfriend went in. I mean, honestly, it sort of is a proper response. That is a biological hazard. Please stop this. We've had so many people out with pink eye in the last week. Maggie, I beg you mercy. So the start of shift bell rang and we reluctantly left the scene. 10 minutes later, Irene stomped onto the floor, muttering under her breath and glaring at the oblivious Maggie. Apparently, Irene had been yelling so loud that the GM overheard and got involved because he and Jamie showed up 10 minutes later and marched Maggie out of our department. Well, I guess that'll solve it. Phone Maggie's mother or her caretaker. Maggie doesn't live on her own, right? She's with her parents still for obvious reasons. So tell her guardians to burn those pants in the backyard. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to believe she bought some new ones. Fucking couldn't happen like that. Why? Why could it not happen like that, Maggie? You fucked it up now. And anyway, 20 minutes later, one of the runners, Ricky, reported that Maggie was in our clothing department, rifling through the racks of pants. I guess that's a solution. For the next 30 minutes, we all made excuses to get ourselves into the clothing room so we could report back. The whole time, Maggie was sorting through racks of pants. This is like a hell of a humiliation ritual, isn't it? And the amazing part to me is Maggie's gonna show up again tomorrow. And she puts her head down and just fucking keeps pushing. And probably she's not gonna find any pants that are big enough for her. Then her humiliation will be complete. And still, she'll show up tomorrow. Big, dumb, goofy smile on her face. And I don't know, maybe she gave me pink eye. But as long as I remember to wash my hands after I touch anything that Maggie even may have touched in the slightest, Maggie, maybe she's okay. Maybe. Yeah, quit it with the shit pants, though. Truly. Eventually, Maggie disappeared and did not come back for the rest of the day. Since management will not answer any questions regarding other employees with anything other than, I have no idea. We all had to speculate and come up with the conclusion that they tried to give Maggie a free pair of pants because she stained those leggings and that was unacceptable, but she couldn't find a pair that fit her, so they sent her home. Hopefully she spent the day doing laundry or sit-ups. Yeah, because she's fat. Don't forget that part. That's very important to help dehumanize her. I still feel bad for Maggie. I hate the shit pants. Like, I don't know why you would do that. But there have been theories thrown about, all in the comments, that Maggie is unwell. The Gubbinses have said she's unwell, and yeah, clearly she's unwell. And all we do is sit around and fucking gawp at her. Like, I'm at a loss, truly. Some people need a fucking helping hand, okay? A bit of grace. But I guess she used up the grace, you know. Okay, you get one strike, Maggie. I'll forgive you for one pair of poopy pants. But you put the poopy pants back on? Why did you put the poopy pants back on? Like that truly is unforgivable. Or, alternatively, yeah, she's clearly got some diminished mental capacity. And I feel bad laughing at people like that. Like, I want somebody who's on an even keel, you know? Don't punch down, punch up. Sometimes laterally, but mostly up. Like, do you not think a couple hundred years ago that Maggie would have had, like, a very comfy job as the village idiot, and she would have been just, like, completely happy with it? She's like, yeah, I'm wearing the poopy pants again today, guys, and everybody claps and cheers. Unfortunately, modern society has reduced us to this, where we can't laugh at somebody with poopy pants while they're wearing the poopy pants. It's got to be kept secret from them, so they don't know that what they're doing is wrong or stupid. Or she's got to be living with a caretaker, you know. If she's not, please make that happen. I'm gonna send CPS to your house, Mag. I know you're 28. You should have it figured out by now. But clearly she doesn't, in like a really big way. This is something I simply cannot defend even from the Gubbinses, so go ahead, boys, tear a piece off. She deserves it, truly.
Why Irene yelling, that stripe is vintage, aged for a year, like fine wine or very expensive cheese. Maggie just bringing culture to warehouse. That not stain, that patina. People pay extra for distressed denim. Maggie just make DIY distressed leggings. Very creative, eco-friendly, she's saving water by not washing. Captain Planet approve. She look for pants on rack? No. She look for pants worthy of her custom art. None found. Management just jealous of her bold fashion statement. That stripe say, I am here, I have arrived, smell me, Gubbins.
No, thank you. I don't want to smell you at all, ever. If I may be so bold. What do you think, Dark One?
To wear the filth of a previous year is not an accident. It is a declaration that she has ceased to be a participant in civilized society. She spent her afternoon rummaging through cast-off clothing, only to realize that the world does not make fabric wide enough to hide the reality she refuses to wipe away. Dark Gubbins.
hide the reality. The Dark Governors is having like mini seizures recently. I don't know what's going on there. But definitely Governors is going to take it home today. 2 points ahead. This boy, he's on a tear, I tell ya. The boy, he's on a tear, and I love to see it. Love to see people joining up on the Patreon and YouTube memberships, too. Shout out to everybody who's done that so far. We plugged, what, the programming games and the Steam games. We didn't plug the podcast at all. iTunes, Spotify, we're out there. Check us out. Fourth wall for the merch. I do appreciate it. Amazon affiliate link, that One Gay Cop's book. The Bootbeard OP's book, if you know him that way. Fantastic writer, highly recommend. And thank you guys, of course, so much for being here today and hanging out and doing the thing, you know? This is my wife knocking, we gotta fucking go, so. Always remember, friends, you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for calling ReddX Industries. Your call is very important to us. Please hold on the line while we decontaminate the lab.